Hiya, this is Guntech, and I'm gonna do Loper starts for practice. And if you want to watch it for a bit, you can check out my thoughts on what to do and where to go. So you start without matches or a bedroll in Interloper, so those are the needs you need to meet within a reasonable time period, usually before you catch a frostbite, because sometimes you start without mittens. All right, so let's do Loper runs. If you don't have these badges, then go do them, because, well, there isn't a big difference, I would say, but you'd want them if you make a good start and you get ahead in Loper. They will help the long game. For these quick starts, it's not that critical. So let's see what I get. I get Forlorn Muskeg. And time of day is almost night, my god. So temp should be reasonable. And as you can see, I have no gloves. So I want to go. Over there is the forge. So in order for me to not get frostbite, I will either need to go to the forge or up to the warm cave at the waterfall. So by all means run. And I am going to watch out for the bear. So that was too far left, right? So you want to go here. You do not want to follow the coast because there's no way to get to the forge following the coast. You will fall in the water and have to run back here. There's a bear. So I'm going to crouch until I'm just going to make sure I don't aggro him. And visibility is not so good. Fortunately, this is pretty close to the forge, so... And I'm already getting a little bit... I'm gonna use the railroad as for orientation. And I'm gonna check for wolves. So you don't have to run over every stretch, but it will get you there faster. Pick up cattails to get tinder. This will avoid you taking cold damage while harvesting sticks for tinder. So there's the bridge, and I'm gonna watch out for wolves. I cannot get over there without drowning. Whoops. So I did not go too far right. Shout out to SimErg01 and Natty Boy for following. You have 5 seconds and no more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're in the drink. What that will do is immediately lose you. So that's why the wolf wasn't there, and he's running straight towards where we want to go. So this could change my priorities. because I will now have to look where he's going. He's going that way. So time of day is RNG, so you can get even a night spawn. Spawns in the night or in late evening are the worst. The weather, and he's patrolling that area. So I will soon start taking damage. So, and he just walks right inside the fence to block me from getting to the forge. So I shall go this way. Try to beat him to it. And since he's going that way, I'm gonna wait for him to round. Gotta make sure I draw him out first. Don't want him. That's him. Then I'm gonna wait for a visual. Watch out for those steps. This character is completely unable to lift his legs more than 1 inch. So with the fence as a guard, I can safely run to the forge. And once inside, I'm safe. So first order of the day is obviously to get a fire going from the matches, which you will find over here. Sorry about that. And thanks to picking up the cattails, we have tinder. I won't have to break down sticks for tinder. If you need sticks, there are sticks behind me where the trees are, where we couldn't stop because we had a wolf chasing us. So you need something to bring it up to 20 minutes before you can add the coal. Meanwhile, you can cook water. Actually, better strat is to grab the reclaimed wood and the cedar to make sure that I can put on half a liter of water and sleep for 1 hour in the warm bed, and also to get the temperature up because it's not warm enough. So I need to bring it up, I would say 5 or 6 degrees above, so it feels like positive 5 or 6. And generally you can just what you got. And I'm gonna have to check before I sleep. I have to check that it feels warmer than 0. So sleep 1 hour and get the water. So this start has fulfilled the requirements for getting the matches and getting to a bed. So you get 4 minutes left to pick that up. So the weather has gone bad, so the next order of the day is, for as long as you can keep this fire going, you can sleep here. After that, you have to move. You can either go to the waterfall and the warm cave to Milton. Make sure you pick up some torches from the fire, or you can go to Mr. Lake and look for matches in trappers and campfires. Alright, next up. I have 2 saves here that I will they're just started. It's pretty tricky to decide which map, which region and starting point you're gonna start out from. So just to make sure I had HRV starts, I started them and saved them. That's it. So please think of Loper Academy as Police Academy, because I'm not a pro. This is Desolation Point, and the best strat for this is to... We're at the point closest, well, almost closest to the crumbling highway. So if you go up here, you can get a chance to see what lies ahead. There's a wolf heading towards the boats, no problem, there's nothing in the boats usually. He is, well, we're not visible to him, so we're just gonna have to make sure that he doesn't see us and we can take the shortest route. So if he turns this way, I will have him following me all the way to Hibernia, because that's our goal. So let's keep our distance. So the best chance for matches in Desolation Point is Hibernia. You will get at least 3 locations there where matches can spawn. So you want to go this side to pick up any goodies from the corpses. You're gonna have to watch out for the bear. He could be up on the first day, so we'll follow the crows. And you will get frostbite. There's no chance really to make it to Hibernia unless you get very favorable weather. This is noonish, so it will be cold. Oh, good. Sometimes the corpse is over behind the car. Well, sometimes there's no corpse at all, but there's 7 for us. That's weird, I've never passed here without there being a corpse there. But I've only really looked... for these starts, I've only really looked 5 times. So, next corpse. You can go into the Reckon and grab the tomato soup. But generally there's nothing there. There's some coal there. Absolutely. Where are you? I am actually gonna go to the Reckon because there's no corpse here. So all our goodies will be with that corpse, so that makes it worth checking out. Plus I can keep my damage down if it's warm inside, which it isn't. On rare occasions, you can get an item of clothing in here. And I'm only going to the Reckon because, as you can see, I continue to take damage. But, was there a coal there? So, thank you. Is there something there? No. Because I was curious about that corpse moving onto the Ricken. Most of the stuff is in these shelves. Sewing kit book is good. Will save on cloth. Speaking of. So over here is dog food or tomato soup. I kind of like DP as a Loper spawn, unlike most people, I guess. Because it's easy to find your way, and there are quite a bit of lootable buildings. And there is a way to warm up even though. So let's see what you got. I was hoping for a Tribar or something next to him, but it was not to be. So over there is the other spawn, little island. So from there just go to Hibernia and there's your matches usually. I would say maybe a lower chance that they'll be there if you start on Little Island, but I don't know that. This beef jerky has always been here every time I've gone there. But we are taking damage, so in general expect something like, whoop, there can be wolves here. Although I would have heard footsteps. Either way, just run through those two pipes there. And the correct way is to go inside first and warm up before going in. But it's alright. Why I crouch when I go in, I don't know. And there's your matches. The other places that they can be is over here and over here. Sometimes there's a whetstone here as well. But I think we got the plastic container in either this one or that one. Nope. Alright. Whoops. And here's the warmest bed. So the challenge is now over. I can save here. I am at 80 condition, but I can at least restore condition and get warm. Well, actually I can't, because it's -5 in here. Or is it? Is that not inclusive? Okay, so we'll get 5. Let's test that. So condition was right about 80, so it should not be lower now. That meter is correct. And the meter was correct, so you add these up, of course. So that's DP. Let's see what we get. Next up. So normally you will get something like 75 to 95 condition when you hit the first warm spot. And that's normal. What you gotta watch out for is, so this is the other DP spawn. That's the lighthouse over there. So let's check for matches. I'm just gonna go between here, because this will tell us that this is the little island. So I'm just gonna run straight inside. It is soon morning, so this should be the coldest time of day, minus 37. And that's a lot. Again, be on the lookout for bears. And when you get to Hibernia, be on the lookout for the wolf in the yard. So that's the last sprint before the yard. And I couldn't really hear footsteps right now, so I have to go by visuals. It's just unnecessary to lose condition to wolf. If you get a wolf, just go in there. Otherwise, go for the stairs. No metal box this time. And this is one of the problems with DP. You pretty much need... There's our matches. So we have a light source now. Otherwise, if you don't get the matches in DP or a flare, then you can't get out of the zone. You'd have to... Maybe you could if you timed the passage at noon, but I'm not so sure. It was pretty dark during the day in the transition cave to Crumbling Highway. So if you get a flare, resist the temptation to use it to cook water and stuff. Because if you get a flare and not matches, then you will need that flare to get through the transition cave to hunt for matches in another zone. So Crumbling Highway has a chance of Fire Striker out at the island just as you enter. So there's that. Next up, if we get a super easy zone, then I'm not sure I'm gonna do anything else but just walk out and tell you where to go. That's DP again. That's the one 2 rounds ago. So, next up, I'm gonna have some water. I'm gonna stop using the... so this is the Forlorn Muskeg one again. Just for repetition, the forge is that way. So Make sure you grab some cattails for tinder and the sticks that you can get, a couple sticks, and then you'll have coal and reclaimed wood on the way to the matches and the bed. Okay, so let's do these without badges then. As I said, there's not enough time in these Loper starts to make them have any effect, other than maybe 2% off the condition or something like that. So that's DP again. I was thinking I'd get a Timberwolf Mountain or a Pleasant Valley one. Whoops. Let's see what we get. So if you want to force, and this is DP again. Actually, the previous DP one was even further to the Crumbling Highway exit. So there are 3 DP spawns. So obviously the closer to Hibernia you are, the less cold damage you'll take. So if you want to force a certain spawn, certain starting location, Interloper, you're gonna have to try for a bit. I've probably done this like 100 times to get the 2 HRV spawns. Here's Forlorn Muskeg by the waterfall. Up to my left is the radio tower. Let's see if we can see it. And if you want to risk life and limb by going up there, then take the back route, because there's a wolf up there most of the time. And if not, you can go to Milton. The problem with going to Milton through this cave here, that cave, is that you'll have to go through Milton Basin with no matches, and you'll have to climb 2 long ropes. So if you're going to attempt that, you will end up with a chance of matches at the what is it? The park lookout with the corpse inside. But there could be another long walk and looting a couple buildings before you get matches. So I don't think that's good. You can go in the cave and warm yourself up, because it's a warm cave. So these 2 logs here point the way. Basically, just follow straight out of the waterfall. Follow these logs and tilting trees. Over there is the train wreck with the fire barrel. And generally you should have few problems. You may have to take a walk around a wolf along the tracks, either this side or that side. This path is relatively free of weak ice, so when you see that, just sprint. Pick up the cattail heads so you'll have tinder. And I wasted quite a bit of cold damage, or cold depletion, talking up there, showing you the way. So you want to go right of this quite a bit. So aim for that tilted tree there. Cross where there's not a lot of ice in the way, so you can get to the snow. So between these poles, if you get lost, just go to the train track and between these poles and make a 90-degree turn towards that. So there's a wolf. Alright, wolf, so I'm not going to use the perfect log. There's another wolf. And I just triggered him. I could have aggroed him there. So do keep your distance. Make sure they are lice at the horizon. And so basically from here on what you're looking for is some color. A red house like that, or and beyond it a blue house. So this poses a problem because the wolf is between us and where we want to go. So I'm gonna go on the snow over that rock over there instead. So just navigate the wolves and you'll be fine. And there's another wolf, also heading where I want to go. So there's no, well, I can possibly beat that guy to it. He aggroed and went in front of me. Okay, but soon we'll be safe, so I can circumnavigate him. By looking at the wolf, you make sure he keeps the pace he's going. And possibly after this log here. As soon as he loses sight of you, either because of a hill or otherwise he starts to run like that. So this might mean that I do not have time to pick up the call, or maybe we will. No, he caught up with us there, you saw that. So we're looking for the pier, the wooden pier over there. And once inside, we'll be safe. I am turning around, which is bad because I don't want to plop in the water. If I do it like this, I should be able to. But you see, you lose visibility. And that's when he'll start to run again. And we got 3 wolves on our asses. So I'm gonna have to go close to him to get between that wolf and the other one, over to my left. But in general, we can make it. So we're coming in quite a bit left of the forge. But hopefully... Actually, I didn't want that. I wanted him to be following up here, but I think I'll be alright. As long as I don't get a 4th wolf. That's good. So that cry, assuming I can get in, tells me we lost him. So don't feel bad if you get this forge with like 75 condition, cause that is normal. So this was a different, tell this was a different spawn, but the matches are in the same place. So once in here, just check that you have firewood and tinder and can pick up some coal and stuff, and you're good. So next up. I'm gonna try twice more, and if we get the same old, then I'm going to do HRV. So this should be Pleasant Valley. And over there's the farmhouse. And over here is the barn. So the barn seems the closest. But obviously the farmhouse is better for guaranteed spawns. Over to my right is Skeeter's Ridge. And if you go there, be prepared for wolves. But if you can navigate them like I did in 4-1 Muskeg, then you can go down without using the rope there. Otherwise, just use the rope or go down. Use the rope by the trapper's cabin. Or go all the way back and down to the only... You can actually... the best one is... Probably the best one is the Prepper's Cache. Over by the rope to Timberwolf Mountain. Because you could warm up there. And you'd know where you are because you've been that way many times, so you can follow the roads. For example, to the rural store. Anyway, it's a pretty safe. The rural store is not so good, maybe because there are wolves there, but I mean, there are wolves pretty much all over Pleasant Valley, and the distances are quite long. So anyway, my advice is to go to the farmhouse and get matches. There are 1 or 2 more starting points in PV. One is where you start near the coastal highway exit. And the other is, I think it is over by somewhere near the radio tower fishing hut area. And I'm not going to use badges. So this is the other PV spawn I talked about. If you can make out roughly where you are, then that's fine. If you get lost easily on PV, then find a river and follow it. That's my advice. It is pretty cold, but not super cold. Don't have any gloves. So again, you want to go to the farmhouse for the matches in the basement. So now we're on a road. And there may be a wolf here. So there's our bridge and there's our river. I'm gonna complete this because I wanna I don't get this start as often, so I want to practice it. I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna go this way. Rivers are good because even if you get a wolf, you can backtrack until you can get up from the river, and then you're free of him. Plus, rivers have cattails. So this looks like the Traverse cabin is up there. And there's an entrance to my right here that will take us to the farmhouse. So probably if I had crossed that bridge, I would have gotten there sooner. But I try to go where I recognize things. I could be mistaken. Hello, Mr. Deer. But as you can see, the distances are still quite large, so that even if you sprint, you will take cold damage. So I want to go under this bridge into my right, and I'll be at the farmhouse. And obviously the farmhouse has beds in it. When you go up here, consider if you see a rabbit, chase it in front of you, and if there are wolves between you and the farmhouse, the wolf will be busy with that rabbit. There's a radio tower, so you can go up here or the next one, doesn't matter. Probably the next one is safer, but I always go here. So if you want to get up where you can, we have 2 frostbite risks, and that's what you get for this kind of weather. So yeah, the wolf is usually here somewhere, and there are rabbits there as well. So go where you see the areas clear of wolves, and you should be fine. And get free food as well. That's good. See if we get a bonus on the tables. No. So basement. Let's see if it's warm. It is. Good. So I've stopped the rot, and I don't even need matches at this point, because I can warm up. There's your matches, and usually some tools and stuff here. Got a heavy hammer, got a book, and some goodies, and maybe clothes in here. So anyway. One last try then. I said 2, but I changed my mind. I want to try a 3rd one to get a Timberwolf mountain spawn. And we got PV again, I think. No. Did we? Nope, this is Timberwolf Mountain. So let's see where the hell I am. So this is the second spawn, and I've not practiced that much. So this looks, yeah, this is above Crystal Lake, right? So that's a rope down to Crystal Lake, and Crystal Lake is over there, as you can see. So there's the fishing hut, which you can barely make out. But there are no guaranteed matches here. So if you want those, you're gonna have to go to the three-way cave. So the way to get there, so I'll show that then, before I take too much cold damage. So we're gonna go up this path here. That one is pretty hard to find actually, but if you know the rope and the containers over there, then you can follow the cliff above Crystal Lake until you get to this path. So you want to go up here and follow this mountainside here. So I would have saved my half of my cold bar if I hadn't talked so much, and we have pretty bad weather. So if it's in the -20s, then you will be unlikely to hit a warm spot before taking some condition loss. So over by that engine is the entrance to a worm cave. There can be wolves by the engine. So the last part I'm gonna sprint to minimize damage. So here's the cave entrance, and there's the wolf. But he can sometimes be between you and this entrance, so just do the old run around on him. And this is one of the problems with not having matches. I have no light sources, so this basically means that this is not possible, I would say. Do I have anything I can hold out in front? I have a can that I can hold out in front of me. But really, it's a stretch. I can try going back as far as I can while keeping that in sight. This is daytime. I mean, there should be... In some caves, there is some light in the caves during the daytime, even though there... But this one is far under the mountains. Far under the mountain with no... So we're officially in the dark now. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to go... Oh. Well, so the question is, was this a very short cave? Or is that the exit? Because if the cave is straight enough and there are no level differences, like climbing a stairs or things like that, or some narrow passage or whatever you want. Nope, that was the same entrance again. Yeah, so I could give it another go. But yeah, it's really hard. So that's my sliver of light right there. So if I keep this wall on my right at all times, I'm gonna ignore that because that's the exit we came from. Now I made an error because... Oh, okay, I fell down something. So let's keep that up, because apparently I'm making headway. What I was gonna say, I made an error because I switched from keeping the wall on my right side at all times to having it on my left side at all times. It's a big no-no. But if the cave layout is favorable, I'm gonna stick to keeping the left wall on my left side. And if it's possible at all, I did see something there. Nope. If I find I'm going in circles, I can change direction to keep in this left wall on my right side at all times. I fell down something there. And something else there. And that showed me a long passage, so hope prevails. Well, obviously, I'm being dumb. Obviously, the guaranteed matches are in the... There are guaranteed matches in the Mountaineer's Hut. How silly of me. So this is more of an exercise in futility at this point. But I'm just curious. It's guaranteed that if I see the light from an exit, that will be the exit that takes me to the other guaranteed matches. And I can't seem to move. If I fall down again, I'm gonna switch directions because I'm probably going up the incline and then dropping down. So no, I'm sure. So now I'm gonna switch to keeping this wall on my right side. See how that goes? Otherwise I'll just give it up. Because the correct... Why can't I go there though? Might be a crouch area, but I don't think so. So now I'm definitely in a room where you have to do something to get out of it. Hey, hang on. Nope. I'm in a small room where you have to do something to get out of it. And that prevents me from progressing. And this is actually not warm anymore. So I've been taking damage all this time. I don't think I need to show you how to get. I showed you the fishing hut. So if you get that spawn, go to the Mountaineer's hut instead. All right, as promised, HRV guarantee. So you get two starting points. One where you're low down in altitude, and one where you're high up. So to get into the Loper Academy, you have to graduate HRV high, which is actually, I think, the easier of the spawns. So let's load that. And I hope I didn't mess up. And then inside some cave. Oh yeah, I had taken a fall there or something exploring because I wanted to find a route from that spawn to the other cave. So let me quit out and fix that real quick. Poor preparation. So lucky I saved it. Going back. We go. That's better. 0 hours survived. One moment, just checking that streaming software is picking up the stream. And I will have to go downtown to get me some more water and food. I'm getting hungry. So I'm just waiting for the software to show me that I'm inside the game again. All right, there we go. So here we go, HRV high. That means we're pretty high up. This region is a pretty small, it has a small footprint, but it's big because it has tons of paths and stuff where you can get turned around easily. So let me orientate you from the starting points. So you are at a bunch of falls, sort of in the middle of the map. So over there is Hushed River, going all this way. And over here are some more falls and a zone with another tree bridge. What you should look out for, this is the Lost Something Falls, I think it is. There's a wolf, and here's some fallen debris at the end of the river, where you can get up that log through that little arch, and if you manage to get past the wolf, you can cross over. So if we go up even higher and take even more fall damage, I can show you how small the distances are, unless it's already fogging over. Let me see if I can get there. before the fog hides what I'm trying to show. So I wonder if you can see the rope from here. But anyway, you can go this way, climb up the rope, and get to that area where the wolf was, and cross a bridge to get over to where we're going now, which is the shortest way. So I started, I think, like this. This was the starting point. So just turn around, run through the cold, across 2 logs. And the other side, this is where the wolf can be. If you do not get any sticks inside, you pretty much have to stay out here and pick up at least 2 sticks. 1 for tinder and 1 for lighting the fire. But I'm gonna go straight in, because this is just a test. Normally you pick up all the rose hips. Time of day is noon, which means that visibility is good in this cave. There's a stick for us, if it'll let us pick it out. So that's 1 stick. I still need 1 more for tinder. So hopefully there is 1 here. I will need this for tinder, so I'm gonna do that right now. And the reason why shall become apparent in a moment. So you can't really get lost in this cave. I will show you 1 important room. So I will get some firewood up here in this dead end. Unfortunately it was coal, but this at least lets me know light a fire if I can grab the matches. Because this cave has guaranteed matches. So that way is the exit. We're gonna go this way. This is the room before the split. For the T-junction. So what makes this significant is that you can go up here, place a bedroll if you want. Is this the room? Yeah, and you can go up here. So that's the room before the junction. And you want to go right. Sometimes I think this is the place where there's sometimes a rabbit carcass. If you already encountered Sketchy here, what you want to do is run, grab the matches and light a fire and go left, because on your... Here's a stick, that's good. Because here is the gold mine. You get firewood, and what you should go for straight away is the matches. So if he comes here right now, you'll want to quickly place a fire if you can, or light this one, the pre-existing one, and scare Sketchy away. There's your bedroll, don't miss that. And you get a book. Cooking skill, I believe. Oh, fire making skill, of course. So, be prepared to light a fire, because you're not safe yet. Because the path to the left, there should be a junction to the left. Not yet. But before the big room with the rope. That's your junction. And if you want, you can, you can explore this part of the cave as well, but at most it has a couple of sticks, a couple of firewood, and a rabbit carcass. I have not seen Sketchy in this part of the cave, but he could follow you here. What he can't do is follow you up this. rope here shortly. So feel free to panic and run all the way over here. That's good. So I didn't show you the room. This is the room with the rope. So once you climb this, you're safe from sketching. Scared of my own footsteps. So basically the challenge is already completed. If you want to know, I'll show you the exit to Milton real quick. How to get there. This is a nice place. Know that even though this is an ice cave that looks really bright, you cannot read books after dark in here. So when you exit, you get a ton of berries again. Do pick them up. There can be wolves here, especially straight ahead. So if you make a left from the cave, you get to this long rope. That will take you all the way down. You don't want that. Unfortunately, I have a bit of a trouble to show you the log bridge that is here. So maybe I'll return to here and show you how to get to it from here, climbing the rock face, basically. So what you want to do when you get here, don't take the rope. Look where the log bridge is. Get to the highest point here and climb all the way around. Get down onto the base of the log bridge, go across it, and you can't go wrong. So there will be 2 more log bridges to cross after that, and then the cave exit to Milton is straight ahead. Just walk straight ahead. But you can also go right and do a little trick and get to another log bridge, which is the one that crosses the valley you were going to go straight through to get to the cave. Simply the log bridge that's nearest to the exit cave. And it will be hard to show this in this fog as well, but as long as you follow this peak, this mountain peak, this rock wall all the way around, can't go wrong. You will go through a bit of a tunnel, and that's your cue for getting ready to scale some mountain walls. So I'm taking precautions to avoid wolves. So this is the arch you go through. And again, just follow the right wall, and you'll get to these bushes, which you can't pass. The bushes are just in front of the log bridge here, but you can pass them because you can go to the highest point where there's snow, get onto the rock. You will take a drop at each of these crevices. As long as you're facing the rock, you will end up at a point that is as high as possible to get you over these bushes. You will be risking a wrist or an ankle doing this, so beware. So there's the log bridge. And the good thing about this zone is these log bridges that you normally cross don't have the route at the end of it, which has problems in this version. So they are all passable. So this log on the ground points you in the direction of the cave there. So that's how you get out of HRV now that you've gone through the good ice cave with the humongous loot in it. So let's do the low start. And then I'm gonna call it a stream because I'm really hungry. I will need some calories for my stomach. IRL, and I was not gonna use those. What was I doing there? I was starting a new game. Let's see if I get the low HRV start by sheer coincidence. No, that's Forlorn Muskeg. And it's nighttime, which is bad. This is pretty much the coldest weather you can start in. And you can't go through caves, any caves, really. Might be one or two with bugged lighting in it, I guess. But you know what I mean. Without matches or a flare, we don't have a light source, so we can't navigate transition caves. Alright, HRV low. I have it here. Survival, load. HRV low. Load game. So this is where you spawn by the Offset Falls. You don't find that out until you go here. For some reason. So you can go two ways here. You can go three ways. You can go through, this is Hush River Valley we're on right now. You can go through this, and if you encounter a wolf, you can, if you've killed a rabbit, you can drop it as bait and pass him. Or you can move back and try to trick him to go one way, side of this boulder, and go through and back and run away from him. Or at least get him on the right side of you so you can back off to the rope. And from the rope on, the path is the same as I showed you for the HRV high start. That's the first way. You get some cattails, take some cold damage, you get exhausted from climbing the rope, and therefore it's not the best. The other way is going here, across the lake, and you'll eventually end up going past the rope to the same spot as before with the wolf that you have to trick in order to get across the bridge to the ice cave. Or you can go the best way. So should I start that over just to see how good my condition gets when I'm not talking so much? What the hell was that? That was my PV start. So load. There you go. So the best way is just start running straight away, because there is a bit of ways to travel here. So you go right, and then you hug the right edge of the map, the right rock face, and you don't have to use the log bridge if you don't want to. You can go here. Now the problem with this spawn is that I will have to wait for tons of sticks. And cattails? Nope. So just keep track of where this rock face is. You will have to leave it briefly to pass over a couple of small, the stair-step falls, they're called. Because of this lip right there. Otherwise you could fall. I haven't tried it. I doubt it. But yeah, it's gonna fall off. So as you see, this is a problem with HRV. If you wanna get up, you can't. Tell you what, that's not a lot of cattails, but hopefully, probably we'll get a few up here. So keep on keeping track of that side of this river, because once you take the wrong turn, you're stuck on that side of the river until you find another log to cross it with. So this is the rock face again. And there's our cold damage kicking in. Come on, buddy. Lift your leg. So this will eventually lead to a small lake, but that is of no concern to us other than for cattails, because we will continue to follow this rock face. And there's our tinder. Because I know that it can take 4 times if we succeed in holding fire, I'm gonna pick up 5. Alright, so that's your cue. I have sprints, so I'm gonna use it. And there's our frost bite. 2 frost bites. So you will want to this is maybe the most interesting. There's the log bridge I showed you from the high ice cave high exit. So that tells us we know that there's our cave. And I see now that I was wrong to say that that log on the ground points the way, because that would point you back to the waterfall there. So 90 degrees at the log bridge. That's better to put it that way. So I am warm, and that is good. It is a bit dark in here. Do turn around when you enter caves, because sometimes there are sticks at the entrances. Just as when you exit a cave, there may be berries behind you. So this cave has some lit up points, which means it can be navigable. If you get stuck, just pass some time until it gets light. Or use my tactic to pick, for example, the right wall and keep going until you hit that wall. And eventually you'll get somewhere where you can get oriented. So if you want, you can explore this cave and pick up firewood and all that stuff. And especially you'll want to, for as long as this cave is warm, pass some time to get your cold bar up. I'm gonna start to call them meters. They're not bars, they're meters. So, I'm sorry if the stream is too dark for you to see, but I can see enough to find this ramp here. And that'll take me to the exit into Milton. And I was looking for a way to get to the good ice cave from this Offset Falls start, the low start. But it's not worth it, I think. I think it's a guaranteed way to get a frostbite or a wolf attack on you. I would say frostbite is more likely, more inevitable than the wolf attack. So I'm not gonna leave the cave. Don't have a bedroll, don't have matches. I have no way of heating myself up. I'm just gonna move a bit inside the cave. Check my temps, 6 degrees. So I'm gonna pass time until 1 hour at a time until the cold meter is full. So there are no guaranteed matches that I know of in Milton, perhaps inside the locked Orca station, but well, is it full? Can break it. So that wasted some time and calories and thirst. But it's better than, well, actually I want to do that until all my frostbite and hypothermia risks are gone. Are they? Barely. So let's just get rid of that. Didn't go away? What the hell? Move inside a bit then. So that's the cue I was waiting for. I might get back the second I step out into the cold weather, but it's just unnecessary to have an affliction risk on you. So if you've never exited from HRV into Milton, this is what it looks like. You can keep on hugging the right wall face here. Down there is the road. Nothing else. You can get protection from the wind this way. But more importantly, you can get to see wolves before they see you. You are taking a sprain risk, but it's low since we're not encumbered. Here's some berries and a dead deer and some other goodies for you. Some firewood and a fire barrel and a bed. And sometimes clothes inside. So half of the quest is met. Matches still standing. Withstanding. Drink that right away to not get the condition loss from thirst. This place usually has a storm lantern for me. That's a good way to raise your temps, of course. So I'm going to show this part as far as the church. If the church doesn't have matches, I'm going to just show the way to the nearest places that can have them. At least to me, Milton is a place where I go looking for matches. All over. I would say that Grandmother's house is a good spot, and the church is a good spot. So. I could have passed time inside the trailer if it was warm, but I didn't want to risk even more the chance of bad weather. So down here is a lake with lots of cattails, and berries, and well, you can break down one chair of firewood inside the church, but there is a little firewood inside there. So let's see if we get matches. Nope. Oh, there's tons of books in here, which is good. For to burn fires with, and a bed. So if you do get matches here, you can stay here and live the good life of cattails and cook all the water you want. Hunt some rabbits. Just gonna have a quick look for clothes or other nice stuff. A few pieces of cloth for when you get a sewing kit. So this is the lake, and we came down from that way. We followed this rock face, and if you keep following that rock face, you will get to the farmstead, which has a chance of 2 pots, and this is the bridge. It takes you into Milton proper. You are risking wolves, but as long as you stick, and if you go to the farmhouse, you'll have to get the key for it, usually in the blue truck outside, or I should say in the vehicle outside, because this is randomized what you get, what kind of vehicles you get. So do look out for wolves going in. Ah, town of Milton, 1911. So if you want, you can go this way. If you see a wolf that would get in your path. There might be cattails down there, I don't remember. But anyway. Coast is clear, and there's your house. If there are wolves here, you can go the back side of it. That guy seems more interested in wildlife than myself. So I can take this chance to just sprint it. And, whoops, we're safe. see if the matches are here. Yeah. So, and up here, just in case you didn't know, is the best bed in the house with 8 degrees plus bonus. All right, that's it for me. I'm definitely going to get some food. Have a very nice Saturday evening or um, noon, whatever time it is, your place, morning. And next time we're back in Stalker Stanley. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.